never saw Ted Williams step up to the plate. And rumor has it that Ted Williams was such an unbelievable hitter that he had great eyesight. And before he stepped into the batter's box, he looked out into right field, saw a guy pull a hat down over his eyes, go to sleep. Ted Williams said, said that they would wake up call. Well, wake up call, he said, 502 feet, hit Joe Boucher right on top of the head. Run through the straw hat, the ball bounded 12 rows deep, knocked him out cold. He was okay. He woke up a couple of minutes later. His nap lasted a little bit longer than he intended. But when he awoke, he was flanked on one side by an EMT, and on the other side by a Boston Globe reporter. The EMT examined and said he's fine. Boston Globe reporter took over, started asking him all kinds of questions. What's your name? Where are you from? Why are you here? Quickly determined that on that day, Joe Boucher absolutely deserved to get hit. Because on that day, Joe Boucher happened to be a lifelong New York Yankee fan. Well, the Boston Globe reporter smiled, because he had his headline set for the next day. And you can check this out in the archives of the Globe, June 10, 1946. Sports section. Headline reads simply, Bullseye! Williams blast knocks sense into Yankee fans. And there's a big picture of Joe holding the straw hat, pointing to the big hole in it with a big smile on his face. Well, Joe Boucher figured that the baseball gods were sending him a message. So he decided right then and there to be a Ted Williams fan. And in so doing, the Boston Redsox fan. He went back to Albany and raised his entire family as Red Sox fans. And on the anniversary of that event, June 9, 2006, Joe Boucher passed away a couple of years prior. But the 30 or so remaining members of his family came to Fenway Park. They threw out the ceremonial first pitch. They were all dressed in straw hats with big holes in them. And they watched the entire game from that row of seats. Left the red seat vacant in honor of Joe. True story. Now, before we finish, I want to point out the scoreboard at the base of the wall. It's one of the last manually operated scoreboards left in baseball. 3 guys operated from the inside. Sounds like a great job. I gotta tell you,
just sweat box in there.
How much minutes we had on the game card?
To the left of that bat, there's a cutout.
Oh, no.
Small cutout. There's a small area behind that wall, but that's the only way in and the only way out. Between the words at bat, ball, strike out, circle A, circle E, there are slits in the wall. During the game, those slits are open. That's how those 3 guys watch the game. Those slits are not at eye level, so they have to scrunch down and see it. There is no heat inside that wall. So on a nice brisk April day here in New England, when it's about 35 degrees outside, it's about 20 inside that wall. There's no air conditioning in there. And guys, unless it rains, there's no running water. Despite what Manny Ramirez tried to tell us a couple of years ago, there are no restrooms in there. Manny was in there all the time. What he was doing in there, I don't want to know. Right? Yeah, I told you inside that wall is a very small area. But every great baseball player who's ever come to Fenway Park has gone inside that wall and signed his name. There are thousands of signatures in there.
I love to see that.
The greatest players of all time. Well, last summer I found myself inside that wall. Nobody around. I said, you know what? I think I'll sign my name. Why not? There wasn't any room. Every spot was taken. So I erased Derek Jeter's name.